Hi guys, in a few days we'll release the beginning of April the new ISOs, and it came to my attention that maybe we should also include some more information prior to installing any Linux distribution, the knowledge that we have already shared, and that's again brought to my attention that when you are a first time user, like the first time ever you install Linux, that you need to know some things, basically, right? Knowledge. So let's first get this started. This is the ISO that you'll get in a few days from now, and let's go over all the possibilities. So this line provides the Arch Linux kernel. This line provides the Arch Linux Zen kernel. Difference is that there are other parameters in there and other hardware is supported, and that's why we have it, right? Some of the machines out there work better with a Zen rather than with the Arch Linux kernel. First line is VirtualBox, anything virtual machine like, right? NVIDIA, the NVIDIA U cards. Safe graphics is anything that doesn't work, and the first line of course is also AMD. So Intel, AMD, first line, NVIDIA, only the new NVIDIA because there's so many drivers. And then if everything fails, that's your line, safe graphics, no mode set, and you figure out what driver exactly do I need for Arch. All the rest is just well, more choices to test your RAM, UEFI shell, never been there, right? System restart, system shut up. Shut up, not shut down. Anyway, so most of the time I just go here because this is VirtualBox. First line I can switch from time to time to this one. Doesn't really matter because VirtualBox is graceful handling the other kernels, right? It just doesn't really matter. It's virtual. When I'm hardware, real metal, then of course everything starts to count and a kernel matters. That said, I've been on the Linux kernel for 8 years and without issues, right? So it just depends what hardware you've decided to buy, and if it's hardware that's not supporting the Linux environment, in short, then yeah, you better switch, right? Buy better hardware. I always say spend your money on companies that support Linux and avoid the others. So when you boot up ArcoLinux, Arconet, Arco Pro, Arco Plasma, read this first time ever, read this, figure out what this means. If this is not enough, you go to YouTube. Let's see if it works. Yes, twice now, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Accept all. That's a privacy. That's that. Voila. There are playlists and playlists on this channel, on which you only should choose this one. That's the proper search. This is the world. Trillions of videos. Going through it is a waste of time, right? If you want to focus on ArcoLinux and Arch Linux, it's here. Here you search your installation. And I'm still in QWERTY. Installation. We have a lot of installation videos. And what you're looking for today now is the Arconet installation video. If he wants to look it up for me, I don't think he has any intention of working. Don't see anything happening, or unless I should just scroll through it and have a look here. We came here, there's a lot of information, as you see. Arcoinstall is there, ArcoLinux, but there are lots of playlists. Anyway, you find your information here about installation, or Arconet maybe is gonna help us a little bit. Arconet, not that one, Arconet. For whatever reason, he's not responsive at this point when making the video. Stupid guy. Thing is, Look at the videos, then you know what is Arconet, how does it look, how is Arco Plasma, how does it look, what is Arco Pro, how does it look, and here's a summary. What you see is what you get. So this is what you get if you choose to go for Arconet Easy. This is the software I've chosen for you. Many, well, if not all, distributions will give you their choices, their settings, and there's no internet required. That's the Arconet Easy. Arconet Advanced does require you to have internet, because what you see is what you get. You get this anyway, but you can get more. But we do something drastic when going for Arconet Advanced. This one, which is basically called XFCE4, this one, the whole environment you're watching here, the bar up here and all this, the menu, that's XFCE. We're gonna remove it. So clean slate, and you select your desktop. Awesome, BSPWM, even Plasma, Xmonad, again XFCE, sure. Then you're removing it to later on install it again, okay? If that's a choice. So you can get more apps later on, and this is your best way to get to grips to understand how we do things. So that's one thing you can do. So either you're in the beach in the mountains offline, there is nothing there, there is no wireless, it's impossible to install. This is great, it will just install it. There is wireless, there is Wi-Fi, there is a LAN cable, there is internet connection, sure. Then you can go for an online, and with an online you get the same pop-up like the one with the easy installation. Decide what you want to have. Will you go with grub, install, systemd, boot, or refine? So 3 options. Our recommendation you will see in the next ArcoLinux Welcome app, the next release, you'll see that it will say recommended. Install systemd, boot, recommended. And then Calamaris starts up. Calamaris is a graphical user interface, basically says go put that thing on the computer, right? Just moves the bits and the bytes from A to B. Still some choices for kernels, but basically we have made our choice, right? It is already 2 kernels on there. So why would you need more? Because you like, for instance, the Linux CashOS. We have the Zen, we have the Linux already installed. Next, but you can always get the new one, right? If this is a very old ISO, and if you click on Linux Zen kernel, you'll get the latest Linux Zen kernel. Like, right? Just an update then. Other drivers, you have to dig into drivers. Do I need them on this PC, on that laptop, on the other laptop? It all matters what is needed, but there's the Arch Wiki that explains what you need. Installs SDM, it's already installed, so nothing to do here either. And here, start your choices. So you know XFCE4 is gone. This is gone, right? If you forget to click this, which is actually also a good idea, you'll end up in a black screen. Then you have your scripts, and then you install the rest you want. Most of the time people will think about it and say, I'd like to have DK. Voilà, I've just made a choice at random. Any of those guys, I can also decide to install XFCE4. So that's a tiling window manager, that's a desktop. That means it's always a good idea to have a backup. If you're messing with the code and you can't log in to DK anymore, then I log into XFCE, change the code again, and back in business. So it's a good idea if you're learning about tiling window managers to have a backup plan. This is not for anything, well, I was going to say for VirtualBox or anything like that. Better use this on real metal, the Wayland stuff, but Near Wayland was actually quite good on VirtualBox, didn't have any issues, nice, fast, responsive, great on VirtualBox. The other two, not that much. So if you hear Wayland, think real metal. Next, all kind of packages they can look for and figure out what does it do I like it, will I install it next time around. That's all software. They'll want more software. In the end, we decide this one, that one. This one, I'm not a fan of dual booting, never have been, and voila. Choose an operating system, a Linux operating system, and give it a machine. That's Linux, that's Windows, that's games, that's Linux. You choose what you want, and off you go. Now, because of this morning's communication on Telegram, it came to my attention that we, after so many years on Linux, that we take things for granted, and I've never told this in a video, in an installation video, but what we know, right, is of course documented, but there's no direct link to it, to all this information. Here it says start here, and there's a logic. So you start with this, then you go here, then you can read this, then your post installation must read fast rec. Now what? I mean, this is a logical menu in time, but what we skip often, since we're in a VirtualBox and not real metal, we skip this bit about the things you should know, because when you buy a laptop or a PC, it's primed for Windows 11, right? You want to get rid of that, and we want to take control of our operating system and just have Linux on there. So here are several articles, videos, and hardware that I had or have. So explaining, you need to go to the settings and go and change some stuff. And this morning there was a guy who just started out in Linux, and of course we know this and we do this automatically. The first thing we do when we buy something new is go into the BIOS and go set everything straight. These days we have ChatGPT, and I have given him all the help he could receive or could get, right, with a lot of links and videos and all that. And then at some point in time we get this question, right, that pops up in our mind: what would ChatGPT say? These days I can let it work like using 32 let's see if we can find it somewhere. So this was my question: tell me what I need to do to the UEFI settings of my laptop that has been primed to have Windows 11 on it. I would like to install, he gets it, right, only ArcoLinux, ArcoLinux on it. What settings should I change? Another set of questions, another set of choices, and off it goes telling me what I should do. Disable secure boot, enable UEFI boot, legacy, and all that. It gets better and better and better in answering the question. So use it, right? Nice table. I believe this used 32 sources. I thought it was somewhere included, but maybe it's included when I log in. And this is shared with you guys, right? No. Anyway, that's where everything starts. You can't just put Linux on a system that just came out of the box, out of the shop, just delivered on your doorstep. You need to go inside with some kind of keys into the settings. BIOS or UEFI, these days probably just UEFI. The older machines are called BIOS. And you have to enable or disable things and have a look. So has been documented, a link extra, and off you go. Pre-installation. You need to know how to burn an ISO. There are 30 tutorials, well, I think much more than 30 anyway, just about Calamares. What can it do? What can Calamares do for you? All kind of informations, install, etc., etc. You have a look. Lots of info that's available, even if you want to connect to the internet via Wi-Fi, any desktop, so you're stuck, you don't have a LAN cable. It's documented here as well. This is very much a good advice. if you have, like me, you prefer the desktops, super easy to buy a tray like this. This is an SSD, you pop it out, Linux out, Windows in. Done in Windows, work is done, Windows out, Linux in. Alright, so it's just something, a bracket that you can put in, and then this hot swap SATA mobile rack goes in, and whether it's this brand or something else doesn't matter, right? As long as you can move it in and out, and then it's super easy for us in Belgium here. Well, these are prices of probably maybe 10 years ago already, but it's the idea, right? If nobody tells you that this is a great idea, because your PC can become a Windows, an ArcoLinux, an ArcoLinux, a SUSE, a Red Hat, all you need to do is switch the SSD. Pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. Right? It's a great tip. So pre-installation, as this thing. Then finally we're gonna go installing. So basically the video I've just made is an installation video, and it will come on YouTube. All kind of informations first. VirtualBox, we're gonna test it out before we're gonna install it. How to burn an ISO. Yeah, there's some applications we recommend you use. And here's Arconet, right? How to install this, how to install that, how to install this. But there is stays the same, like forever. And this is a playlist. So the video I'm making now is gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be in here anyway, with a number. So there is so much information available. The thing is, it's time to read and listen to videos, because after the installation we can go to the post-installation things. Will you become part of the community, right? Will you become part of Telegram, Discord, and there's so much more, and so on. And let's have a look. Install package, still busy. We can go on. Post installation, must read. What would that be? Right? Must read is certainly Calamaris. This is the tool. That's the thing that's running here, right? It's just different design. And voilà, all the technical stuff you can do with it. Super fast update. How to install Samba. What is Samba? Arch Wiki Samba. Have the reflex also to type that. Or if you're a ChatGPT user, what is Samba? Right? All the way back up. Fast track. Checking ISO errors and some things that open basically, right? Pointing to other directories. Dual booting with Linux. I'm not a fan, like as I said, but hey, you decide. It's your life that you're wasting. It's your time you're wasting, and you need to figure out why Windows has overwritten your Linux boot up partition better. Okay. Forum is no more, right? Use our forum to solve issues. We've decided against it. ArcoLinux forum is available till we stop paying for it. Join Discord, join Telegram, visit YouTube, download ISOs. That's it. No longer a forum. At this point in time, let's see where it is. 60%. Why is it taking so long? Right? If you choose advanced, you're basically telling update all of this. If you don't have a fast internet, it's gonna be a very long installation. This means update everything plus whatever I selected, install, well, first download it and install it. So this is always going to be longer than that, obviously, because here it's the downloading, right, installation that takes time and is busy, like installing 31 packages. All right, bye. Post installation, update your system, etc. Things to do after clean install. Choose different kernels, Bluetooth maybe, display resolution, wallpaper change automatically. Pacman is our package manager. What do I need to know about Pacman? Pacman is something you need to really know, which means you watch, well, you read the articles and you read everything you can about Pacman. Arch, Wiki, Pacman. Anything really. Everything and anything. Tips and tricks, certainly not bad idea to get some tips and tricks, right? Let's do that away. Voila. Look around. Start reading and start copy pasting, right? Why not? Certainly, why not if you're on a virtual machine? Test out. PAMAC is something graphical package manager. Used to be by default there. I have it. It's a choice of the user. Pacman tray is this little thing, right? This little star. When I click it, there is PAMAC manager. It manages packages, and this basically comes from Manjaro. So may seem strange, but it isn't. If you go to the AOR, ArcoLinux AOR, what is on the AUR? A collection of, where was it? Let's just read this first. A collection of user submitted packages for Arch Linux, learn how to use, etc., etc. This is a recipe, a package build from anywhere in anything. I mean, Debian packages, SUSE packages, RPMs, anything out there that's downloadable can be installed on Arch with the proper knowledge and the proper package build, and that's what happens, right? All these things we can install are basically there because there is some kind of package build, or it's coming from extra, as you see here, so Arch Linux. But you can build it as well if it's not on Arch, it's not on Arco, it's not on Chaotic, which is another repo. Voila, build it yourself. Takes a bit longer, but you're in control. That's the feeling we all have on Arch. Now we're in control. We can do anything with Arch Linux. Allez, yes, finished. So as you see, we've made some decisions down the line. All done, it says then. Then we just click on the button done. And it depends. Let's see. VirtualBox, will it boot up? Yes, it will boot up with the actual hard disk, not with the ISO or the live environment. So we choose, what do you want? Zen or Linux Arch? Let's go for the second line. Just a choice. You decide later on with which kernel you're gonna go, and then you can remove the other one or keep both of them. So we log in, we made a password, and we get already an auto start. Whether we stop immediately, we can install software. Oh yeah. On VirtualBox we have to kill our Pycom. That's better. That's one thing. Software RAM. We want Baobab. Second in the line here. Easy to click. Boom. It's installed. Baobab is installed. All these things can be installed just by click of a button, but also removed. Discord is now removed. Done. That's installing stuff. I have to kill this. This was Super C. Conky is gone. We have the ATT. Control-Alt-E from Eric. So this is a strange look, but that's the VirtualBox thing. Here we have our selling tab. So fourth tab down is basically the catch of the day, so to speak. But look at the transparency is wrong. This is so easily installed. Any of these guys can be installed. And later on there's something called ArcoLinux Desktop Treasure to remove it again. So that's ATT. Control-T. If we update, we get this. If we ask what is this, NeoFetch is not yet installed. Sudo pacman -s neofetch. All right, there is also fast fetch. As long as it works, we keep it. Neo fetch. Now we're looking at the WM DK. So this is DK. All right, nice. Other desktops. So I open this here. I go to here, Ctrl-Alt-F, and launch Firefox. Super Q, I quit it again. Super X, I log out, reboot, shut down, and so on. Super D, Super Shift D, Firefox. We're back in. Super Q again, Super Shift Q as well. Ctrl-Alt-T, Super Q, Super Enter, Super Q. And you need to learn, maybe we should go there. Ctrl-Alt-F, you need to learn what is this all about. The D stands for desktops. If you want to learn about specifically a desktop, phase 1, start with XFCE. Phase 2, why these phases? ArcoLinux University, learning path. What's our vision? Don't start with the most difficult thing first. Start with something simple. XFCE. Phase 2, other desktops. Still a desktop. Still very graphical. Not too technical. Tiling window managers is going to be a little bit tricky. And here is DK. If you want to learn about DK, you go here. There are other desktops you can learn. Wayland. And then phase 4, phase 5, phase 6, phase 7. We say goodbye to Arco and we go for Arch. But it's at the very end. If you have been years on ArcoLinux, you're gonna still have a lot to learn when you start with Arch, but still, right, with all the videos that we have and all the explanations that we have, you're really gonna be able to work with Arcolinux. And then of course, it's not done. Shut down. That was the Arconet, Arco Pro, Arco Plus, and basically pretty much the same. The only thing is, this is XFCE, this is also XFCE, but you can end up with a black screen, which is what you want. Or again, to the online installation and select is difficult. It's for the intermediate or advanced users. Plasma again is a simple thing. Again, you end up with Plasma, or you go to advanced and you install maybe Niri or one of the Hyperland, Wayfire, one of those desktops extra, or a lot of software extra. And then there's something apart from all these three guys. That's the Arcoinstall. And the Arcoinstall is completely different. It looks completely different. It's basically an Arch Linux ISO, like somebody says, Arch Linux on steroids, right? It just provides the same service as an Arch Linux ISO, but the Arch install scripts have been changed, so we can install Arco Linux. That's the difference. And just not to completely install it, because that's not the point, but if we, first of all, I'm a Belgian guy, so I'm gonna go for load keys from Belgium, and then Arch, a short alias for Arch install minus advanced, just to show that the major difference for, it's taking its time, is the desktops. The desktops is what we changed, and that's in here, profile, type, desktop. You see all these words, Arcolinux, you see all the long list. We're not going to install Awesome from Arch. No, we're going to install BSPWM from Arch. We're going to install Qtile from ArcoLinux, XFC from ArcoLinux. It's a different delivery system, and it takes some time to get used to this, I suppose, but it's much closer to what ArcoLinux does. So no calamares, nothing graphical, but in the end result is you get XFC4 with our packages, right? With our look and design and all that. So it's basically a choice, a matter of choice. If you have an issue with the Arconet, Arco Pro, etc., right, you choose this one. Say, fourth choice is this Arcoinstall, and you try it out. If you want to know more about Arcoinstall, of course, first of all, YouTube. There are lots of videos about any of these ISOs that I've just mentioned, also Arcoinstall. But on the ArcoLinux B stands for building the ISOs. You can actually build our ISO and decide to put, I don't know, Vivaldi on there, to put Android Studio on there. It's up to you, right? You can get an ISO that includes anything or removes anything that we've done. But here is the information about Arcoinstall. If you want to know more, this is it, right? Again, videos. And basically the difference between the ArcoLinux ISO and the Arcoinstall is this one. We want more. This is the desktop and tiling window managers to the right from Arch. And we say no, we'd like to have these extra. I think it was 10 extra desktops. Well, this being more or less the desktop, and all the rest are tiling window managers. But also these guys are our design and our look. So 27 desktops and tiling window managers to choose from, which is a lot. So a lot of experimenting for you. There's always playlists, so have a look. If you find one of those, you can go through the list and choose the one that probably is going to help you figuring out things. And that's it for me, right? The end of the video. There are 4 things to choose from: Net, Pro, Plasma, Arcoinstall. 3 graphical. 1 very, very close to Arch, not graphical at all. Black screen. Figure out what you need. Watch all the videos that I have made already, and then you're in for a treat, right? It's super interesting, this world that is Arch. All right, cheers.